Yo, what's going on YouTube? In this video I'm going to start the AngularJS series that I'm going to be working on, I don't know, within the next few months or so, but it should be pretty good. Now, I just wanted to go ahead and talk about AngularJS itself, this series, and if there's time, maybe I'd go ahead and do like a quick tutorial, an intro, or something like that. Alright, so let's get started on AngularJS. What it is. First, let's get started with the notion that there's two types of web pages. There's static web pages and there's dynamic web pages. Static web pages never change, they're never, they're static, it's in the name, but data isn't being moved in or out of it. It's something that you see like on a college professor's web page or something like that. It's all text, it's all images. A dynamic web page, you can input data, stuff's happening, stuff's changing all the time. You can search, you can do so much more with data and that you can take in from the user and you can analyze, and it's dynamic, it's in the name. So Angular helps make that possible. It's a really awesome JavaScript framework. I think it's the most popular front-end JavaScript framework, in fact, but it's really powerful. I like to describe it as jQuery on steroids. It is pretty much that, because there's so many new concepts in Angular that really revitalize the way that you look at front end and managing data on the front end. Alright, so just I wanted to get a few administrative things out of the way. For this series, I do recommend that you know HTML and JavaScript. CSS is a nice help, but it's not going to be stressed too much. If you don't know HTML and JavaScript, I highly recommend that you watch some tutorials on it or learn about it a little bit, and then come back, and you'll have a much easier time learning Angular. If you don't know them, you might be able to pick it up, but just saying, it might be a little bit easier to go learn those things first. So, what text editors should you use for AngularJS? Well, I personally use, let's see, let me kind of exit this out. There we go. I personally use Sublime. It's been my favorite text editor for a while now because of all the shortcuts that come with it, and not come with it, but that you can shortcuts that you can plug in, and there are actually a lot of shortcuts that come with it. But there's also a lot of people who like Vim, Notepad, Notepad++. That's totally cool. Go with your favorite text editor. I like Sublime because it can do things like this, where all I do is press the exclamation point, and then you get that. You can also do things like this, where I just type out a small little statement like this. Oh, sorry. And then you can get that. There's also a ton of cool things that you can do, like, see, if I go Control Shift and then right click down, I can go ahead and type on all those lines, type something here, right? It'd be really difficult to do that in Notepad, right? So okay, so use whatever you want, use whatever you're most comfortable with. What else? What else am I missing? All the code for these videos will be in what's it called? Either GitHub in the description of the video or personal page. I don't know. See, I'll get to that. And let's see, it's 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Yeah, I can go ahead and show you guys a couple quick examples. So I'm going to go ahead and generate this document, and now I'm going to go ahead and link up to an angular.min.js file. So the way that you do this is just you go to the script. You link JavaScript files with script, and you say text, type is equal to text / JavaScript, and then you get the source. Now, if you download it locally, and let me just close this really quickly. Cool. So if you download it locally from the Angular page, which is angularjs.org, then you can go ahead, you can click download, and it'll download. I have one open right here, angular.min.js. So if that's the case, then you would just put that in your source parameters. So it looks something like this. Let me get to it. Angular.min.js. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the CDN. And the CDN is basically going to get it from the internet at runtime for the purpose that, I mean, the reason I'm doing this is so that you guys can go ahead and look at my code, copy it over, and have it, everything be exactly the same way, because file directories can be different, and this is just more, I guess, dependable on your guys' end if you guys were to use my code. Alright, so let's go ahead and declare this as an Angular app. So what we would do is we would say ng app, save that. So now this is declared as an Angular app, and we have the Angular resource. So now we can start doing Angular things. So something like 2 plus 3 within Angular brackets, of course. I mean, Angular and Angular brackets, they just go together, of course. So now when we load this, let me open this up. We should have 5 within the body. Yep, there it is, 5. And in case that's a little bit hard to see, I'm going to put that in h1 tags. h1. No, there we go. Alright, so maybe that's a little bit easier to see now. Yep. Now, another cool thing that you can do with Angular is something like this. What if we want to have an input field, right? And then right below the input field we have the exact same written text. So let me demonstrate this. So we have an input type is equal to text, right? And now with Angular we can go ahead and we can store this in a variable from an input field. So we can store this in ng model called input variable. So input variable is where we're storing the input. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Awesome. So now we should have a text field, and anything in the text field is going to be stored in input variable. So now we want to print that variable. So I'm just going to go ahead and say h1 and in Angular brackets, of course, because we're calling an Angular expression. Alright, fantastic. Close that. And now that'll show, as we type one letter, we'll see the next letter being printed in the h1 because this is real-time rendering. See, HTML is rendered only once through the web browser, while Angular has something called the digest cycle, which will be rendering it at all times. So that's one really cool thing about Angular. So now when we type something here, like cool beans, you'll notice that it's being, I don't know why I saved that, you'll notice that it's being printed right here at the same damn time. So that's one really awesome thing about Angular. There's so many cool things about Angular. I'm not even going to get into now, but in future videos, you'll see why Angular is just so cool and what you can do with it on the front end of web development. Now, I think I'm going to stop here in this video. It's also gotten a little bit long. And in the next video, I'm probably going to cover controllers or something like that, and you'll be like, wow, that's so cool too. And there's just so many cool things about Angular, so I'm excited to share that with you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!